Welcome to the verse of the day. My name is Pastor David Pranga. I'm the executive pastor here at Brewster Baptist Church. And this week we're going to be talking about is evangelism. And just to review the past couple days is that on Sunday we talked about the Great Commission, which is Matthew 28. And God has given us a command that we are to share the good news of Jesus Christ with the people that we are encountered with. Then on Monday we looked at the Great Commandment. We looked at loving the Lord your God with all your heart, but it's the second commandment that we're focused on, which is loving our neighbor as we love ourselves. That we are to treat them with love and respect. And then we as Christians also should be a blessing to our neighbors. We want them to come to know Jesus Christ, which leads us to the verse of the day, which is from Luke chapter 6, verse 12. I want to read it to you. It says, "One of those days, Jesus went out to the mountainside to pray and spend the night praying to God. And when morning came, he called the disciples to him and chose the 12 of them, whom he also designated to be the apostles." See, when Jesus started his ministry and his mission, Luke 6, verse 12 tells us that Jesus went to a mountainside and began to pray. And he prayed. And repeatedly, Jesus would take time away from his busy schedule and he would spend time with God in prayer. Jesus would pray to the Father and he would be in communion with him. See, when we pray, it's our opportunity to talk with God. We can have a conversation with God. And when we talk to God, we can tell him about anything and everything. We can ask God for wisdom. We can share our struggles with him. We can even talk about our day. And God desires that relationship. This week, when I was thinking about how we can be a blessing to our neighbor, one of the first ways that we can do that is that we can begin our time with prayer. See, the B in blessing stands for beginning our time in prayer. And we need to start praying for our neighbors, or our family members, or our co-workers. And I would just like to give you a thought process of, what, if we want to make a difference in evangelism, we have to pray for our neighbors. And what did Jesus do on the mountainside? He prayed for the disciples. He started everything with prayer. And we see it when he called the first disciples. We see it when he did miracles. He always started with prayer. And we need to do that as well. I heard a great quote that I want to share with you. It says, "I can't change the world. You can't change the world. Even our prayer alone doesn't change the world. But only God can change the world. However, God uses prayer to change us. And then God uses us to change the world." See, as we begin to pray for our neighbors, we're asking God to change us to have a heart like Jesus. Just as Jesus prayed for his disciples, we need to be praying for our friends, our neighbors, our co-workers. If we want to be used by God, in which I think we do, we need to be praying to be used by God and to make a difference. And I want to encourage you to be a blessing to your neighbors. But it first starts with prayer. We need to start asking God, how can we, or who can we touch this week with love? And sometimes I would say to you is that, begin praying and then just be silent. Let God bring the people to your mind, and then just start praying for them. I just believe that God can use you as an instrument in touching people for Jesus. I know in my own life, when I pray for people in my neighborhood, God just opened up opportunities to be a blessing to them. So remember the word bless, which stands for begin with prayer. Well, thanks for joining with us for the verse of the day. God bless and have yourself a great day.